What's up, my dudes? It's Demi, and it's 100 degrees. 100 degrees here in the Magic Kingdom. So today we are only doing the attractions that will help us beat the heat. Along the way, I'm gonna give you a bunch of insider tips and tricks to help you stay as cool as possible on a hot Orlando summer day here in the Magic Kingdom. So let's get into it. Let's beat the heat in Magic Kingdom and let's go get into some hijinks. First, let's talk about how to prepare to deal with the heat in Orlando in the summer. I'm melting! Melting! My first biggest tip is breathable fabric. I go for cotton dresses if I can find a linen dress. I do some cotton bike shorts underneath too to help with walking. On top of it, I also wear wool socks. I know when you think of wool, you think of a big wool sweater, but wool is very breathable. These are hiking socks. They provide extra comfort, and my feet are breathing throughout the entire day. I also highly recommend grabbing yourself a fan. I like this one. The strap is really thin. It blows up right into your face, and it takes regular batteries that you can swap out throughout the day. The rechargeable ones I've had issues with. They don't last that long, so I really prefer this one. I also highly recommend a cooling towel. It really does make a difference, and definitely pick this up before coming to the parks because they are way more expensive here. So you can find this fan, cooling towel, my hiking socks, and all of my cotton dresses and everything that I wear to help beat the heat in my Amazon storefront, and it's listed below in the description. Now I know walking down Main Street is iconic, looking at beautiful Cinderella Castle, but no, it is too hot for that today.
Hot! Too hot!
So what's really cool, and if you do not know, the Emporium is a giant store that goes just about the entire way down Main Street, USA. So instead of walking in that heat, I know it's a great view, you get to walk in some AC. If you're looking to go to Main Street, there's a door that leads you right in front of Main Street Bakery, but you can even walk through Casey's Corner, and look at that, you're right in the hub. But before we leave Main Street, I wanna show you a secret spot. I'm gonna throw in throughout the entire video secret spots that you can go and sit down and get some shade or some air conditioning. And right here on this little alleyway off of Main Street is the first one. And if you walk all the way to the back, you have a secret little spot to sit underneath a canopy next to the old payphones and chill for a minute. And if you want to learn about my secret spot in the Emporium where you can sit down and be out of everybody's way, join us over on Patreon to find out. We are starting off in Adventureland at one of my favorite rides when it's hot, Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's heavy.
This line does have an outside part of the queue, but if you catch it like under 60 minutes, you will be inside the entire time. Even in this first section here, which you will spend for the majority of your time waiting if it's a long line, you can feel air conditioning blowing in here, which is amazing. And then you're really inside. This queue is basically a giant cave, and it's always so much cooler in here than most of the other rides. And then on top of it, the ride is super long.
Surrender, Captain Jack Sparrow, or by thunder we'll burn the city to the ground.
Captain Jack Sparrow, speak up! Or do you fancy a swim with Davy Jones?
Oh, quit your clucking. The gentlemen want the rum, don't ya, boys?
When ears tell 'tis only me what's got the goods. Keep still. I'm studying me map.
Feathery friend, you've a divine singing voice. Do help yourself to a trinket. Small one. Drink out and leave out a show home.
7.5 to 8 minutes on one of the most classic Disney rides of all time, and really great air condition with that pirate smell. Can't really beat it. Here's a beat the heat tip that you may not know about while you're in Adventureland. Over by the Jungle Cruise, you have the Liki Tikis that spray and mist water, and it feels amazing. Since we're in Adventureland, I think it's time to hit up our first show. There are a bunch of shows in the Magic Kingdom, indoor with air conditioning, and we are gonna hit up the Enchanted Tiki room.
Tiki time.
Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, to be precise. You're usually just waiting for the next show. And what's great is even when you're waiting, you're underneath the canopy and there are fans to keep you cool. And you can hear the birds talking, so it keeps you busy while you wait for the next show.
Welcome to Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room.
Monsieur and Mesdames, it's time to say adieu, but we hope you will always remember the amazing things which happened here in Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room.
Applause, up down there, applause. Everybody stand up on your feet. Ole!
Oh my gosh, it was so nice in there. It really makes you realize how bad it is out here. All right, we're walking through Liberty Square and I just wanted to point out the Haunted Mansion line because when it is long, it is out here in the sun. It is hot over here. But if there are no guests in the extended queue outside, the actual queue is all covered with the canopy and it's an interactive queue to keep you busy. And then the ride itself is super long, I think around 8 minutes, and all in air conditioning. And you can usually find the wait times much lower than they are in the middle of the day, in the morning or the evening. Just be aware that the Haunted Mansion is not available for early park entry if you are a resort guest. But if you are rope dropping, you could rope drop in Liberty Square and go directly to Haunted Mansion. Made it to Fantasyland and we did a ride, we did a show, so I think it's time we go meet a character or two. Not all character meet and greets are indoors, but here Princess Fairytale Hall, where you can meet Tiana and Rapunzel on one line or Cinderella and Elena on the other line, it is indoors and the extended queue is covered. We are online to meet Princess Tiana and Rapunzel, but they're playing right now the Princess Diary theme song and I'm losing my mind.
Shut up!
It is so beautiful in here. We have the princesses on the wall and there's even Cinderella's glass slipper. Hello, Tiana. It's so nice to meet you.
Well, wonderful to see you.
You look beautiful as usual.
Really, Patsy, would have thought.
I know, right? I am so excited for your ride.
It's gonna be the basics.
It's gonna be amazing. But I have a question for you.
Yes, please.
Does that mean you're gonna make us some beignets to go along with the ride?
I would hope so, you know.
I really hope so.
I feel like this kingdom needs more beignets, don't you think so?
I think it is the one thing that is lacking so much is that there are no beignets here.
You know what Cinderella always tells you, she's like, when I come to this kingdom, she says I can only have fun. But I think that cooking is fun.
Yes.
So I'll talk to Cinderella about me making some beignets for everyone. That would be quite swell.
I hope it happens.
You'll be the first to know because I think it's going to be a first come, first serve.
I will be the first person there and I will buy them all out.
Well, thank you. I'd love to hear it. I'll let you know, all right?
Thanks, Yana. Yes, I would. Hello.
It's nice to see you.
It's so nice to see you.
And what is your favorite thing that you do with your best friend?
We come and meet you guys, all of our amazing friends here.
That sure is the best.
You know, I was just talking to Tiana about how I'm so excited for her ride.
Uh-huh.
Where's your ride?
Well, Maximus already headed back to the castle for the day.
Oh, okay.
Usually I take him to and from the castle.
Barucci, I love that. I love meeting the princesses, but before we hit up our next attraction, I need some water. You have to keep hydrated throughout the day or you are not gonna have a good time.
Water! Water!
Quick service locations at Disney provide free cups of water and sometimes they have them out waiting for people to come and grab, just like this. Thank you so much. So these will be available at quick service locations, no popcorn carts or any type of like cart. Those will have bottled waters. And if you are interested in bottled water and you are a DVC member or annual pass holder, always remember to get drinks or edible things that you can get in the merchandise location in a merchandise location because you get your pass holder or DVC discount. But I'm sticking with the free stuff. As we walk through Fantasyland, here is the longest line of the park every day, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train today at 105 minutes. I do not recommend waiting in this line because it is mostly outdoors. There's a couple fans, but it is unpleasant and it is long. And unfortunately, like rope drop or Fast Pass, wow, I mean Genie Plus. I was just watching the Defunct Land Fast Pass video. If you haven't watched it, it's amazing. It's an hour and a half about the history of the Fast Pass, and I highly recommend watching it. But yeah, either grab a Genie Plus or Rope Drop or wait till later in the day because it is hot there and it is a long, long wait. I wanted to highlight Mickey's PhilharMagic over in Fantasyland as another great option to beat the heat. This is another case of you wait for the next show. Mickey's PhilharMagic is a 12-minute 3D show with effects, scents, and water. Donald Duck is our main character here, and we are following him through some of our favorite Disney animated features to try to get Mickey's Sorcerer's Hat. What's great about this attraction is that it can be updated. Most recently, they updated it to add some scenes from Coco. It's a fun little adventure, but it's also a great place to sit down and get some AC or even get out of the rain. It is almost time for the Festival of Fantasy here in the Magic Kingdom, and my biggest tip is to not watch it on Main Street. You can come over here in Liberty Square, you have all this canopy covering, or in Frontierland, there are a lot more places that you can find some shade under. Oh my gosh, hi Big Al! How are you? I'm so excited for the parade. Are you gonna watch with us? Oh, that's so exciting. I want you to be in the parade though. You gotta tell them, I deserve to be in the parade. I know. I'll let them know. I know. So good to see you, Big Al. Anyway, yes, Frontierland is my recommendation for parade watching in general. The parade starts here in Frontierland. There are less people here, but there's zero shade over on Main Street USA. And there's just a lot of availability over here to possibly have a canopy over your head for some shade. And my dudes, if you are finding these tips helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. It really helps out the channel. And hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any video that gets posted. When you're further back, it's a little bit harder to see some of the characters on the ground, especially if you are short like me. I'm like not even 5'2", but you know, it's whatever you prefer. If you want to be closer, but you also be in the sun. Let's talk about where to eat to beat the heat in Magic Kingdom. If you do not have a reserved dining reservation, here are the quick service locations that have lots of indoor seating that you should consider dining at. In Tomorrowland, there's Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe, featuring the amazing Sunny Eclipse, Columbia Harbor House in Liberty Square for some chicken and seafood, and finally connecting Frontierland and Adventureland, Pecos Bill Tall Tale Inn Cafe. Here at Pecos Bill, you can get some Tex-Mex inspired food. I had this on my top 5 quick service dining locations at Magic Kingdom. I will link the video for you here and put in the description box below so you can decide which quick service location you should dine at Magic Kingdom. Do as I say and not as I do, because when you're walking around you need a well-balanced meal, but I just got me some chips and queso because it sounded really good. This is called my girl lunch since it's not dinner. I'm calling it girl lunch. But let me tell you something, queso's nice and warm, chips are nice and crispy, and I'm very happy. And I got me a cup of ice water. Cheers. Our next Beat the Heat attraction is Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid.
Under the sea.
So there is an outdoor section of this queue, and on busier days like today, you're gonna find it outside. However, this ride during certain hours can literally even be a walk-on. I did use the lightning lane today because I wanted to make sure that we had some attractions for this video because it's super busy today. But if you are waiting, I highly recommend doing this in the morning or in the evening, the wait times will go down lower. It's omni-mover, it should move. A lot of the outside queue has caves that cover you from the heat, and then the rest of the indoor queue, it's pretty big, and again, it's kind of like how Pirates of the Caribbean was. There are, it's like being in a cave, so it feels much cooler in here than some of the other attractions. Storybook Circus. This is kind of the more younger crowd area. We have Dumbo, which is outdoors. However, a lot of the queue is in the tent, which is very nice, but a lot of the queue is also not in the tent. It is covered, but it is now a lot better than its previous location behind the carousel. And then you also have the Barnstormer, which no covering, very, very hot line. However, in the center is the Casey Jr. Splash and Soak. This is a great place to come and cool off. Even though I'm hot, if you know me, you know this channel, I'm not gonna get wet. I'd rather not be wet, but it is here for you. What I would rather do is walk up the pathway to Pete's Silly Sideshow in the big circus tent where it's really lovely air conditioning. They actually use this as a cool off place during the 2020 years, and now it's back to being a place where you can meet Daisy and Minnie or Donald and Goofy. Again, two separate lines, but whew, it's gonna be so nice in here. Wow, that air just hits you right away. It feels amazing in here. This was literally my favorite place to come to during the 2020 years. It was one of the only places that had air conditioning where you can relax yourself, and nobody ever came all the way up here. Right now the line is 60 minutes for Minnie and Daisy and 60 minutes for Goofy and Donald. Clearly the Goofy and Donald one is inflated. Minnie and Daisy seem to be more popular. Sometimes I've walked in here though and it says 60 minutes and then there's nobody in here. It's something that unfortunately you can't tell from the outside. I would peek in and judge for yourself. Like, I thought I would wait this, but it really seems like it's gonna take a very long time. And there's a lot of other things that we can do in the park on a really hot day. If you're looking for a place to rest, right next to Pete's Silly Sideshow is this little circus tent. Sometimes this is not available to use as a rest area because they'll use it for like the Halloween party or something, but it's covered. There's no fans, unfortunately, but they do have seating and it's shady. And real quick, another option where you can meet a character inside and wait inside is over at the Town Square Theater to meet Mickey Mouse himself.
If you are heading from Main Street to Tomorrowland, make sure to walk through Tomorrowland Terrace for some shade. It is so much cooler in here. Sometimes people know to walk through here and it could be a little bit more packed, but still, shade is great. And today is super, super busy and there was nobody there, which is very surprising.
Made it to Tomorrowland. Remember before when we walked through the Emporium? We're gonna walk through Star Traders to give us a little more AC as we walk through this land. Not a long walk, but we will take what we can get, and we need that AC today. It is time for the most relaxing ride probably ever invented, but definitely in the Magic Kingdom. One of my favorites of all time, the People Mover. The Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover is a 10-minute ride through Tomorrowland. You get to see inside of Space Mountain, you see inside Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, and you get to see the model of Progress City that inspired Epcot, and it's super relaxing. You get great views of the park and the castle. You're covered when you're outside, and when you're inside, there's some AC. The one drawback is that the queue is outside in the sun until you get a little bit closer. However, this ride, you can usually find a pretty low wait time. If you find a high wait time for this, come back later in the day, because right now it's at a posted 15 or 20 minute wait. and I'm sure we'll be waiting much less. You do go up the escalator here. So personally, even though it is blazing hot right now, I'm willing to sacrifice a few minutes in the heat in order to sit for 10 minutes on the people mover. Since we are waiting in the sun, this is a good time to reapply your SPF throughout the day. I'm not sponsored by these people. I'm just letting you know, I just bought this. It's called Kula Makeup Setting Sunscreen Spray, and it's been working really well because I am always afraid I'm gonna mess up my makeup, and because it's a makeup spray and an SPF, it hasn't messed it up. In fact, it's like holding the makeup longer, and you just reapply like every hour or two, and it works. I've actually even been using it as just my actual SPF for the day too, like on my arms, and I'm not burnt or anything. So I will link this also in my Amazon storefront. I really like it, and it smells really good. It's featuring peony leaf, juniper berry, phoenix leaf stem cells. I'm not really sure what any of those things are, but it smells really good. It literally took 5 minutes to get to the front. I told you it was worth it. And then once you're up here, you get right on. And I am so excited to sit down for 10 minutes. I am so happy right now. I love this ride so much. And when you're up here, you get some really good breezes too.
The TTA.
Here we go. We got some laugh floor.
The next station is Tomorrowland Urban Planning and Star Trails. Transfer to green and red.
I don't like the look of those clouds.
The express train keeps on rolling through the future.
But I do like the look of that castle.
First up, Progress City. Walt Disney's amazing dream for a community of tomorrow. Did you know Progress City inspired Epcot? And a lot of the visionary ideas throughout Walt Disney World.
And here's Star Traders, where we walked through before. You get such a good breeze up here too.
Now approaching Tron Light Cycle Run.
I love a good circuit.
I definitely don't recommend doing Tomorrowland Speedway because it's all open. And we get a good look at Tron up here. I did put in for a boarding group, but of course it's not until later in the day. I would also recommend Tron. I did a whole Tron video. I will link it for you here and put it in the description box below. If you can get a boarding group, the majority of waiting is inside, and then the ride is inside, minus the one part that goes outside, and it's great. And now we're literally in Space Mountain. You can hear them going up the ramp. This is the part of the ride when you're in Space Mountain, so you're in total darkness, and it's a great place to really get your nap in. I do not recommend riding Astro Orbiter when it's really hot. It has a long wait because of the loading capacity, and there is like no shade.
Calling all space rangers, report to your star cruiser and join me on this daring space mission against the evil Emperor's Earth.
Affirmative. We're on it, Buzz. You can count on us.
I also don't recommend Buzz Lightyear because it's usually like a long wait during the day, and there's a long outdoor queue. So if you can catch it with a lower wait time where you can wait in the inside queue, then it's good. But otherwise, it is very hot. This is my favorite part.
Monsters of comedy. Whether you have one eye or 9, take the time to see this show. Thanks for riding with us. It's been a pleasure to have you aboard. And even though we're concluding, this is always my favorite part. Because now is the time. Now is the best time to go out and explore tomorrow. Today.
We are hitting up one of my favorite attractions in all of Walt Disney World. It is super underrated, and it is Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor.
Is this thing on? Hello?
If there is an extended queue, you are covered. I do not suggest using a lightning lane for this because it really only takes care of the outside queue, because this is where you come in and this is where both lines meet. There might be some waits for this, but you are mostly waiting indoors in the air conditioning, and you're just waiting for each show to finish. Not a long wait so far. I had to wait for one show, and now I will be in the very next show, so it's probably gonna take a total of 15 to 20 minutes of waiting before actually getting inside. Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is a live comedy show featuring some very funny monsters. This attraction has so much re-watchability because it's a different show each time. They do lots of crowd work, and you can even text your own joke in before the show.
Hello, humans! You guys know
might not know is that I'm a mind reader. That's right, I'm telepathetic. So what I need from the audience is a volunteer to have their mind read. Oh, buddy boy, welcome to the show. What's your name?
Debbie?
Correct. It's just a sample of my awesome psychic powers, huh? Debbie, I want you to think of a number between 1 and 50, and I will read your mind. Do you have the number, Debbie?
Yes.
Great. First thing you should do is tell your number to the entire audience, so everyone else will know when I get it right. But don't worry, Debbie. I will not hear you because my eyes are closed.
25.
All right, Debbie. I will now read your mind. Make your fingers into little antenna so you can transmit the number like, yes. Concentrate, Debbie. Like orange juice, concentrate. Now say the magic words, which are oogly shaboogly magoogly. Close enough. Debbie, I've read your mind. Your number is 48.
No.
Is your number higher or lower?
Lower.
4. No. Debbie, I don't know how this could get any worse. Oh, wait a minute! Your number! It hit me! It's 25!
I think it's time for a little frozen treat. Frozen treats are a great way to stay cool. You can find carts that have Mickey bars and Mickey sandwiches. They also have the strawberry fruit bar and the frozen banana with the chocolate and the nuts. Over here at this cart in Tomorrowland, they also have some frozen lemonade and frozen pink lemonade. Alternatively, you could get some classic Disney Dole Whip. Dole Whip is non-dairy and gluten-free. There are soft serves and kind of people just call everything Dole Whip, but I highly recommend doing the non-soft serve Dole Whip so there's no heavy creams in there. It'll make you feel a lot more refreshed because it's just more of a frozen ice thing. You can find that over at Aloha Isle in Adventureland. You can find some over at Sunshine Tree Terrace in Adventureland. And occasionally you can even find it over at Storybook Treats in Fantasyland. Do as I say and not as I do. I literally just said don't get an ice cream, get an ice, like non-dairy ice pop. But then I get a Mickey premium bar. But look how cute the Disney 100 packaging is. And I have just been like wanting one of these forever, and I think now is the perfect time. And like anything frozen you buy in Walt Disney World, you have about 10 seconds to eat it before it gets completely melted all over you. Oh my God. These are so good. They're different than just like regular ice cream with like chocolate shell. The chocolate shell is like super like crunchy and like thick, and then the ice cream is just so good. The chocolate is just excellent quality. They don't call it a Mickey premium bar for nothing. It's really big. I haven't had one in forever, and it hits so different than any other ice cream bar. Just love it. It's melting so fast, and it's all over my face, but it's worth it. It's worth it because it's so good. My biggest advice when eating anything frozen in Walt Disney World is make sure you know where the closest bathroom is before purchasing your items so you know where you can run to immediately when you're done. I don't even want to know what I look like right now. Don't tell me.
Do I have something on my face?
I'll see it in the editing room, but at least I know there's a bathroom right behind me. Our next Beat the Heat attraction is Space Mountain. Right now the ride is at a 145-minute wait, which is insane. So they are using the extended queue here. It's not that much outside, but it is no shade. But once you get inside, the majority of your wait will be indoors in air conditioning. The ride must be super backed up because I'm in the lightning lane and I've been standing outside for a good while now and it's really hot. That whole standby queue emptied out. It went up to 155 minutes, so just be prepared if you use lightning lane that this may happen when rides get backed up. Don't get frustrated. They're doing their best to help everybody move through the queues. Once again, do as I say and not as I do, because I didn't bring a hat. I was like, I don't feel like schlepping around a hat, especially because we're beating the heat. We're not gonna really be outside. But then things like this happen, and also just being outside in general, you're not gonna be able to avoid it 100%, and my head is definitely burnt, so I always recommend a hat, maybe even an umbrella hat, but try to keep your head covered when you are outside. It will help protect from head burns, and I get them all the time because I never wear hats, and I should be wearing hats, and they are very painful. Sweet, sweet AC. Well, we are moving now, and just like the regular queue, we're just moving a little faster, but we're in the same building. It's nice and dark in here. It's nice and cool in here. I find this queue to be very relaxing with like all the stars and the warpy music. Space Mountain will always have a more higher wait time than other rides in the park, but even on busy days, 155 minutes is so long. If you can wait closer toward the end of the night or come in the morning, it will definitely be much shorter. But you may have a wait if you are not doing the lightning lane, and you may have a wait if you are doing the lightning lane like I do. So just be patient, because, you know, to me the ride is worth it. It's my favorite. The one thing I really don't like about using lightning lane for Space Mountain is that you're automatically put on Omega. Disney World Space Mountain has 2 tracks, Alpha and Omega, and they are not the same. Omega is so much more jerky than Alpha. It just feels like a totally different ride experience. So we are doing Omega today. Keep your fingers crossed it's not too rocky of a ride. Space Mountain does not have a single rider line, which is insane to me, but if you are a single rider, let a cast member know, because they can probably get you in faster to fill in a seat, like I just did.
A single rider over here.
My neck hurts. It is absolutely wild that Alpha and Omega are technically both Space Mountain, because Omega, it was so rickety, especially compared to like how fun Alpha is. Alpha's a little rickety, but it's like almost like a little bit just to give it a little charm, not like jerky like Omega. So yeah, if you can get away with doing Alpha, try to do Alpha. If it's a very, not a very busy day and you're on lightning lane, at the cast member's discretion, politely ask for Alpha, only when it's not busy. I would have never asked today at that kind of backup, but yeah, Team Alpha all the way. Would it be a Beat the Heat video without a visit to Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress? I think not. The Carousel of Progress premiered at the 1964-65 New York World's Fair at Flushing Meadows Corona Park, right down the block from where I grew up. And it is the longest running stage show in American history. The longest you will wait is 4 minutes, and you're under the canopy. This show is 20 minutes long. A lot of people take a nap here, and I don't blame them. It's air conditioned, and it's 20 minutes in a comfy seat. But the show is really just so iconically Disney, and what's so cool is the audience is actually moving around the stage instead of the stage moving around the audience. Once the show starts, you cannot leave. They give you one last chance before it starts, then you are here for 20 minutes.
Oh, right around the turn of the century. And believe me, things couldn't be any better than they are today. Yes, sir, buildings are towering now as high as 20 stories. And we can travel by train from New York to California in less than 7 days.
But we do have this new wash day marvel. Now it takes me only 5 hours to do the wash. Imagine, it used to take 2 days.
Phew, boy, hottest 4th of July we've had in years. We've come a long way, though, since the turn of the century, over 20 some odd years ago. We can travel from New York to Los Angeles by train in only 3 days. You know, with our new Crossley radio set, we can get news and big-time entertainment from all over the country, even Pittsburgh. By the way, we have indoor plumbing now. Oh boy, that's really great on cold nights. Well, it's another Halloween here in the fabulous 40s. Everything is better than ever now, and we've got some amazing new wonders around the house to prove it. For instance, our refrigerator holds more food and ice cubes. And thanks to our automatic dishwasher, I don't have to dry the dishes anymore after supper. Gives Rover and me more time to enjoy our evening stroll together. But we do have television. You know, I predict the day when millions of people will learn Latin and Greek sitting in front of their TV sets.
Are you awake, dear?
Isn't it a pleasant holiday?
Take a look around, Grandma. You're in the ship.
Feels like I'm really there.
Okay, get ready. You're about to blast off.
Here goes nothing. Whoa.
All right, here he comes. Oh, you missed him.
Temperature to 375.
Temperature increased to 375.
Dad, Grandma's up to 550 points.
Did you say 550? Hey, she's getting the hang of that thing.
550.
If you have made it this far into the video, well, you are about to be rewarded. I'm about to show you my favorite secret spot. It's right here in the Merchant of Venus in Tomorrowland. Attached is anti-gravity's galactic goodies where you can get some ice cream, and this is where you can sit at the tables. But there is also this ledge seating in here. I don't know if they technically call this seating, but everybody does sit here, and it's usually pretty empty. And here's the best part. There's a couple of outlets. That one's on the left when you walk in, one in the middle, and one on the right when you walk in. It's the perfect place to sit down in the AC and charge your phone. And if this is something that you just learned, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And finally, let's end our Beat the Heat in the most air-conditioned place in probably all of Walt Disney World, the Hall of Presidents. If you are just looking for a place to cool off, come inside here, grab a bench if you can, and enjoy this AC. But if you feel so inclined, you can attend the Hall of Presidents show. It's about 20 minutes. You do have a very nice seat, and it is in air conditioning, and just like if you feel the need to, like for Carousel of Progress, you may take a nap as long as you don't bother anyone. Well, my dudes, those are some of my tips of how to beat the heat in Magic Kingdom. I think we had a great day. Let me know, what was your favorite tip of the day? Do you have a tip to beat the heat? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you did like the video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit your bell notifications so you don't miss anything that goes on this channel. Got whacked by a balloon. Anyway, follow me on Instagram, check out Patreon, become a patron, get exclusive bonus content, bonus lives, access to the Discord, help with trip planning, a free dining guide to Walt Disney World by Disney for Foodies, and so much more. And you'll be helping me to continue bringing you great content like this to this channel. And until next time, my dudes, I hope you guys get some hijinks very, very soon. Bye-bye.